Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Mr. Werfel, Commissioner. I'm actually okay with audits. We want people to pay their taxes, and there should be a random way of selecting some tax returns to ensure that there's an incentive for people to comply. I do want to, however, get your thinking about some statements that you made this morning. You've multiple times talked about high-income earners. You've talked about millionaires and billionaires. You've talked about complex tax returns in the same sentence as tax avoidance and tax evasion. Do you believe that millionaires and billionaires are all tax cheats?
I do not.
Do you believe that there is a reason for complex returns other than to avoid taxes?
Absolutely, there is.
What would be some of those reasons?
Well, here's my understanding, that CFOs of major companies, they have a responsibility to their board and to their shareholders to find the most tax advantage status. The concern, and they should.
So it would be a problem for you if they took a legitimate tax deduction?
No, if their return is accurate and complete and legitimate, great. But that's not the concern that we have. That's not the issue. The issue was that because the IRS was not auditing our audit rates were anemic, because we weren't investing in keeping pace, that these efforts in certain cases got to aggressive avoidance and then even evasion. And I can give you examples of where it's more prolific, and that's really where we want to focus. It's where these efforts
it's troubling to me when you keep using those terms in the same sentence as if all high-income earners, who, by the way, are paying most of our taxes, are all looking to avoid taxes, because that's not my experience with business owners, with corporate leaders. They want to do what's right. And so, it concerns me going into an audit. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. And if your entire organization is taking the approach that you're taking today, you're actually feeling that people are guilty before the audit is even done.
It was not my intention. My intention is to make sure we're increasing scrutiny on complex returns where there's high risk of evasion.
Do you have any information on what percentage of returns on high-income earners result in no change?
I can get that information for you. I don't have that at my fingertips.
Do you have any information regarding the change rate after audits in all income earners levels? For instance, we know there's been fraud in those who receive the child tax credit. What percentage of individuals who have filed for the child tax credit have done it so fraudulently compared to high-income earners? Do you have that information?
I believe we have that and can get that to you.
Yeah, could you share that with all of us? And I want to caution you. I have a lot of people who do very well and are proud to be part of America and proud to pay their taxes. And they don't want to hear from the IRS Commissioner that he thinks that all of them are cheats. So I'd caution you in the language.
Well, I would love to go on the record and say I do not believe all of them are cheats. But I do get bothered when we see evidence of evasion.
In your testimony, you've also characterized partnerships in the same way. That's deeply disturbing. You've said an increased audits of partnerships is important because apparently in your mind, partnerships for some reason are a category that is cheating more than others.
Congressman, what we're trying to do actually is bring our audit rate back to historical norms. It's been anemic. And I do believe that when we're not doing the requisite amount of audits, when we're not showing that we are ready to enforce, that does increase the risk of evasion, and that's what we're focused on.
It's the Congressman Sewell just mentioned targeting specific populations. I think that should go across the board.
I agree.
I don't want IRS to target any population. I think in all categories, most people want to pay their taxes and are doing their best to comply with the law. And so I
agree with that.
I hope what you're doing is a randomized targeting, a randomized looking at audits or at returns to ensure that everyone is complying to the best of your ability.
We're looking for spaces where we think evasion is proliferating. and trying to hold people accountable for what they owe. Too many of these organizations are shielding their income. That doesn't mean they all are. That means that there's more work to do for the IRS to make sure people are paying what they owe.
Thank you. I'm out of time.